this counsel and make the fullest possible use of it, for they are sure to discover in it an approach to perfection in marriage which can never be attained through mere physical attraction or sex emotion.
In your last statement, Mr. Carnegie, you mentioned sex emotion. Because of the lack of education on the subject of sex, I realize its discussion calls for delicate discrimination. However, it is a subject of such major importance that it cannot be ignored. I recall that you placed the emotion of sex as the second of the 9 basic motives which spur men on to voluntary action. Undoubtedly you, who understand men so well, have some words of wisdom for us on this subject, sir. Will you please discuss the subject as you see fit?
The emotion of sex is nature's own source of inspiration, through which she gives both men and women the impelling desire to create, build, lead, and direct. Every great artist, every great musician, and every great dramatist gives expression to the emotion of sex, transmuted into human endeavor. It is also true that men of vision, initiative, and enthusiasm who lead and excel in industry and business owe their superiority to transmuted sex emotion.
It is obvious that the emotion of sex is the major source of attraction which brings men and women together in marriage. For this reason, it is well for us to inquire into the relationship between the emotion of sex and the mastermind principle. What have you to say on this question, Mr. Carnegie?
The well-informed man will not be slow to recognize the possibilities available to him by combining the emotion of sex with whatever plan he adopts for the object of his mastermind alliance with his wife. The same suggestion offers stupendous benefits to the married woman, who is interested both in aiding her husband in his occupation and in holding his interest in herself. Let it be remembered, however, that the relationship of sex, to be of enduring benefit as a medium of inspiration, must be kept on a high pedestal of romance.
Why do you stress the importance of romance, Mr. Carnegie?
Because wherever evidence of greatness in men is found, no matter in what age or calling, there one may also find evidence of the spirit of romance. The acorn yields an oak tree only in response to the stimulus of the sun's rays. The bird breaks the shell and takes to wing only in response to warmth outside itself. And the seed of achievement that reposes in the brain of every man responds most quickly to the warmth of a woman's love and affection. Ignore the call of romance when it appeals to you from within, and you thereby hide your talents in the darkness of obscurity. On the contrary, listen for the call of this messenger of infinite intelligence. Treat it with civility and understanding when it arrives, and it will hand you the key to the temple of wisdom, whose doors are locked within your heart and brain. All that is great and good in man and woman comes to be there only through God's gift of love. Keep the fire of romance burning. Let it become an important part of the mastermind ceremony, and your marital relationship will yield priceless returns in both material and spiritual measures.
From what you have said about the spirit of romance, Mr. Carnegie, I get the impression that it is a great driving force which may be used in the pursuit of a man's calling as well as in devotion to the object of his affection. Is that the impression you intend to convey?
That is precisely what I have been saying, and I have said it because the force that is born of a combination of love and sex is the very elixir of life through which nature expresses all creative effort. Understand this truth, and you will know why a man's greatest use of the mastermind principle is that which grows out of his alliance with the woman of his choice. And you will understand also why it is so essential for a man to keep his relationship with his wife on the plane of romance.
How does one go about kindling this emotional fire, which is so powerful?
The spirit of romance is born of the combination of the emotions of love and sex. Enthusiasm, driving force, keen interest, and vision are essential for success in any calling. And these states of mind can be produced at will by the person who converts the motives of sex and love, two of the strongest of the 9 basic motives, into an obsessional interest in his occupation. Romance is a blend of the emotions of love and sex. It is a healthy, normal impulse, if it is not degraded by physical desire. It takes drudgery from toil. It raises the thoughts of the most humble worker to the status of genius. It drives away discouragement and replaces it with definiteness of purpose. It transforms poverty into a mighty and irresistible power for achievement. It fires the imagination and forces it to become active and creative. It has been the heart and soul of every outstanding man of achievement who has ever left footprints on the sands of time.
Will you now analyze the mastermind principle as it applies to the efforts of an individual in his daily efforts to appropriate his share of American opportunity?